Welcome to this explainer. Today we're looking at this absolutely fascinating intersection of deep cultural history and modern culinary innovation. We are talking about Juneteenth. It's a profound celebration of freedom, culture, community, and tradition. But specifically, we're zooming in on the culinary staples that really define these incredible gatherings, and we're looking at how they're evolving right now, especially in the East Valley, Arizona area. The way we honor our history is constantly finding new expressions, right? And taking a closer look at the food and drink we share is literally one of the best ways to understand that evolution. So let's get started.
Okay, let's dive into this. Before we talk about how things are changing, we really have to understand the foundation. Why are red drinks so popular during Juneteenth? If you've ever attended a Juneteenth cookout, a block party, or a festival, you've undeniably seen an array of vibrant red beverages covering the tables. But actually, scratch that. It isn't just about a flavor preference or a pleasing aesthetic. There is a deeply rooted history here, a history that anchors the entire celebration and gives real meaning to every single sip.
The significance of these red foods and beverages actually traces all the way back to West African traditions. In these cultures, the color red is incredibly powerful. It symbolizes strength, resilience, sacrifice, and spiritual power. When you see red drinks at a Juneteenth celebration today, you're looking at a direct, unbroken line honoring that rich heritage. It's a powerful, deliberate way for communities to commemorate freedom and to respectfully acknowledge the immense sacrifices of those who came before them.
So what exactly are we drinking when we celebrate this heritage? Well, when we look at the most beloved, traditional Juneteenth red drinks, we're talking about refreshing strawberry lemonade, sweet watermelon agua fresca, classic hibiscus tea, which you probably know as sorrel, along with red fruit punch and cherry limeade. These aren't just beverages, guys. They're absolute cultural staples. They are deeply, deeply ingrained in the fabric of family reunions and community cookouts. For so many people, the taste of these specific red drinks is, quite literally, the taste of Juneteenth itself.
Now, what's really interesting about this slide is how it brings us to a fascinating modern question. How do you take these traditional red drinks to the next level? We understand the deep history, right? And we absolutely love the traditional staples. But culture is a living, breathing thing, and culinary traditions are constantly evolving. So, how do we honor the beautiful past while bringing something fresh, both literally and figuratively, to the modern table? The answer really comes down to the environment, especially if we're talking about the American Southwest. It is a stark contrast between the legendary soaring temperatures of an Arizona summer, I'm talking about places like Mesa or Scottsdale, and the visceral relief of an ice-cold frozen drink. Just picture this. Imagine a frozen beverage station at your outdoor gathering, when the heat is just radiating off the pavement, turning those culturally significant red drinks into icy, slushy masterpieces instantly makes that station the absolute most popular spot at the whole party. No contest. Local businesses like Frosty Cactus Margarita Machine Rentals are actually stepping in to modernize this entire experience by offering highly inclusive options. On one hand, you have family-friendly favorites like frozen strawberry lemonade and watermelon slushies that the kids will absolutely go crazy for. But then, for adult gatherings, you can easily spin up strawberry margaritas, watermelon margaritas, or even red sangria slushies. It perfectly blends that absolutely crucial historical tradition of the red drink with a very cool, modern twist that caters to literally everyone. And this brilliantly illustrates just how far you can take it, because we're seeing that local providers are now offering upwards of 30 different flavor profiles. 30! That allows hosts to completely customize the experience. While honoring the red drink tradition is central to Juneteenth, having this kind of massive variety means you can dial in the exact flavor profile that your specific family, church, or community loves the most. It is just a great example of how modern tools are being used to expand upon foundational traditions rather than replacing them. Because of all this flexibility, these frozen drink machines become so much more than just a catering detail. They actually become an interactive hub for the event. Whether you're hosting a small, intimate backyard barbecue, a massive family reunion, a church event, a neighborhood block party, or even a corporate celebration, the machine naturally draws people together. Yes, it keeps your guests perfectly cool, but it also sparks conversation, brings people to a central location, and adds this highly interactive, fun element to any scale of Juneteenth gathering. Of course, if you have ever hosted a big community event, you know the logistics can be totally overwhelming. Locals are increasingly outsourcing this to dedicated rental services to handle the setup, sanitation, and operation. Instead of wrestling with blenders and running out for ice bags all afternoon, you can bring in a pro to manage the heavy lifting. As a host, your focus should be on celebrating freedom and community with your loved ones, not constantly running back and forth to the kitchen. It's an approach that makes the whole hosting process incredibly easy and stress-free.
So the crucial point is that with delivery footprints expanding across the Phoenix East Valley, from Mesa and Chandler to Gilbert, Tempe, Scottsdale, Queen Creek, and even out to Santan Valley, this modernization of the red drink is becoming highly accessible. You just need to make sure to book before that extreme summer heat really hits. It's a growing trend that highlights just how much demand there is to beat the Arizona summer heat while keeping cultural traditions alive. Finding practical, accessible ways to gather and celebrate is exactly what allows these cultural touchstones to thrive year after year.
That brings us to our final thought for today's explainer. We've traced the beautiful, resilient West African roots of the traditional red drink, and we've seen how modern innovations, like freezing these classics to beat the summer heat, can bring whole new energy to a profound holiday. So I leave you with this. How will you elevate your Juneteenth celebration and honor tradition this year? Whether it's trying a new frozen sorrel recipe at home or bringing in a machine to keep your entire neighborhood block party cool, I hope you find a way to innovate your gatherings and connect deeply with your community. Thanks for exploring this with me today.